All right, Jaymee, we've let these older brands have the floor mostly. Would you tell us what you're doing to disrupt them?
Of course, thank you, and thank you for having us. Derek's actually at Yogi Berra's memorial service today, otherwise he would be here. He's actually very excited that we're here and very passionate about the platform. And ultimately, what we're trying to do is an extension of social media in some regard. It's a little, some people can look at it as long-form media, but it's giving athletes the tools and the toolbox to be able to create high-quality content. And sometimes even with Twitter or Facebook, especially in the heat of the moment or in the heat of a game, afterwards, a lot of times we've heard from athletes that have tweeted about a moment and then thought about it afterwards or seen the backlash. You know, they'll send a tweet after a game, get on the team plane, and then land and see the social media firestorm that would happen. And sometimes you just need to think a little bit about what you say. And I think from the Players Tribune standpoint, it really is giving athletes an opportunity to think a little bit, but also be able to share content in their own way to control their narrative, and have the tools from an editorial standpoint, photography standpoint, video. We really try to create an opportunity for athletes to be able to go beyond Twitter. It's complementing, I think, social media platforms. It's complementing what they're doing with the teams and the leagues, and just having another showing their multi-dimensions and personality. And we're finding a lot of the content that they're sharing are things that just may not have existed otherwise because they feel a little bit more comfortable.
But, all right.
I think it shows the power of from a consumer proposition of long format content.
You know, it's interesting because when this was presented to me, because I'm this genius marketer who's always wrong, okay? Always. I said, okay, Players Tribune, you know, first of all, it's just going to be a lot of curated stuff, which it is no matter what you say, because your whole point is you're taking away the spontaneity. But the trade-off for that is you're getting a fuller exposition of how the player feels and what he wants to say. But on the other hand, I said, you know, yeah, but when you've got Facebook and Twitter and Snapchat and Instagram and Vine and everything else, we need another voice. It'll never happen. I guess today it was announced that Kevin Durant became an associate publisher of Players Tribune, and they just keep adding. So it's great to see because from a perspective of sports being all powerful, lest I bang that home one more time, I think it's great. The more voices, the more information. And clearly, I think one of the reasons why sports rights continue to go up is because of the intense interest that's generated by the social media. That's the hidden dividend for all of the leagues. And since all of the leagues, except baseball, have a revenue share with their players based upon a percentage of gross, sport-related income, it's good for players and owners alike. So I'm watching it, and it's kind of interesting because ultimately there'll be some players who have something they want to get off their chest and they're going to speak to it. They will like the curation aspect of it better. But it's going to, from a fan perspective, you'd love to see the player letting off steam and telling you what he really thinks, and that's the trade.